A spaceship, a rocket, a B-BARP, a UAP, or advanced U.S. military tech. What is it?
You need to get the boys.
As it's probably a satellite being sent up into space to track, trace, and monitor every single little thing we do, as of course, the government is up to no good, as we are now finally asking some real, legitimate questions about what in the world's going on here, as skepticism is at an all-time high when we are now being promised revelations about UFOs, as even USA Today is talking about this, as the European and American drone UAP incursion still has not yet been explained to the American people, as there are now some very interesting bets on Polymarket suggesting that we will be getting some disclosures very soon, any day now. Is that actually true here? As of course, we now have some very interesting developments surrounding the Tic Tac UFO, which a lot of people believe now to be a Lockheed Martin advanced military craft here. As the discussion is getting more interesting than ever, as people are saying, hey, we could potentially have free energy here, as some people are saying, well, the technology already exists, and it's underneath the pyramids. Is it really? Well, if it was, we would be liberating them and giving them democracy right now in Egypt. But we have some very interesting theories here, as we are finding out that there is allegedly 100% man-made structure underneath the pyramids, a hidden structure that now has been confirmed by scientists. The discussion here is fascinating and something that, of course, Joe Rogan has previously talked about himself. If you appreciate these types of videos, subscribe, click the notification button. We greatly appreciate all the time that you spend with us. Now, obviously, a lot of the conversations we're going to have here are hypothetical, theoretical, and going into the realm of conspiracy theory, and we're going to do that as best and as honestly as we can here. As of course, there's a lot of charlatans in this movement being like, I know it for a fact. Secret, unconfirmed sources. No, I know everything. I'm the true holder of knowledge, and I shall give it to you for $19.95 when you subscribe to my newsletter. And a lot of it is just ridiculous. But the facts of our current modern day, when it comes to drones, when it comes to the UAPs, it's something that deserves a real honest conversation without any of the charlatans trying to take advantage of you regarding the kind of unknown. And there's a lot of unknown, and that's why there's a lot of theories, there's a lot of theoretical stuff, but let's be honest with ourselves, the government has not been the best type of arbitrator of truth here, hasn't been the best storyteller as they usually play in psyops and mass forms of manipulation and fear and type of psychological operations that a lot of people automatically now are saying, well, there's probably something else afoot here, especially when it comes to the major drone incursions that have been happening in Norway, Sweden, Denmark, specifically over nuclear facilities. These are the same type of drone type of incursions that have been happening in the United States last year. Donald Trump said he would give us the truth. He hasn't. And this administration has so far lied to us about what these incursions actually are. They came out and they said it's FAA drones. And then the FAA, a couple months before that, was like, we don't know what's going on. Why would they lie? Who lied? Why weren't they held accountable? Especially with all the fear and panic that was happening all over the East Coast of the United States. As just within the few months, I think it was like 4 or 5 months ago, there was new weird sightings reported off of the coast of Florida. As right now, the Daily Mail is reporting that Trump might soon give us some UFO disclosures, as are being predicted by betting markets. Yep. As right now, the odds of President Trump revealing what he knows about aliens and life has suddenly skyrocketed, leading experts to believe full public disclosure is days away. A wagering pool is on one of the betting sites is calling Trump's declassifying UFO files in 2025 has mysteriously exploded with activity. And again, there's a lot of insider trading. A lot of people, let's just be honest, it's like all of our like economic means and ways now are just scams and insider trading and people rigging systems. A lot of these like gambling sites, if you start winning too much, they just kind of kick you off. But there are a lot of people gaming it and using it for insider info and information that they are trying to profit off of. And there are a lot of mysterious things and a lot of gamings of this type of system where it's just kind of unfair to the average consumer who doesn't have that insight. Now, is that what exactly happened here? Or is this someone just going off of a hunch? Now, people don't usually wager a lot of money on a hunch. They usually wager it on something else happening here. As now, over $7 million of bets shifted the odds from 6% yes on December 6th to a staggering 98% Tuesday morning. Yeah. As right now, you can bet on anything and everything. It's kind of ridiculous in what's happening here. In this UFO markets, the odds flipped dramatically because of a sudden surge in betting volume, likely fueled by rumors, insider tips, and viral buzz, causing the share price to rocket as more people piled in on the yes tab. Now, of course, if you look at a lot of these kind of betting markets, people say they're a lot better of a attributor than polls to real life events. Not just what the general public thinks, but what some people predict actually happens. As people are saying, these are kind of like predictive markets because people are willing to actually put their money behind the claims that they're saying here. Now, before talking about these new man-made structures underneath the pyramid, playing a little bit of the Joe Rogan stuff, playing a little bit of this other stuff, just really quickly and shortly, we wanted to tell you, because again, we're not going to tell you to do a newsletter to know the secrets of all the aliens and where to place your bets. We'll tell you to get happier and healthier by going to wearechange.shop. We got a lot of great, incredible supplements available to you. The creatine just came in, and we got a lot of really awesome for him bundles. Gift giving is just easy and simple. If you have a woman in your life, you give her the For Her bundle. You save a bunch of money by getting that as well. If you have a dude in your life, you give him the For Him bundle. And we got a lot of great supplements and hats and different stuff available for them as well. They come nicely packaged. You just take off the shipping label. On the other side, we have a to, we have a from. It's nicely packaged. There's sparkly paper for the women. And then bada bing, bada boom, you could give the gift of health and personal well-being to your loved one. I would say the For Her bundle is essential, especially because it contains our creatine. Lots of women overall tend to have less creatine than men, and a lot of people attribute that to women having more mental breakdowns. Now, again, I'm not saying that's the case. I'm not saying you're going to, fix her, but you could definitely help her. Magnesium glycinate, also really good. Magnesium mist, I put it on my feet right before I go to sleep. Really great stuff that I cannot recommend enough. Vitamin C to keep them happy, healthy, and to keep that collagen production on that face, because, women are a little bit more vain than men. The For Her bundle, great gift, pink package, pink sparkly paper. Women love that. Two from, you literally get it from us. You just put it underneath the Christmas tree after taking off the shipping label, put your name on it. We made it easy. We are change.shop. Support ourselves. Support your lady. Support your man in your life. And we definitely have a lot of great stocking stuffers available to you that could give the gift of health, which is a very important gift to give, especially when you care truly about somebody. Now, this is all coming out after a new movie came out called The Age of Disclosure that talked about a lot of this stuff. Here's a short clip of it that was pretty fascinating.
We learned that UAPs present serious national security concerns and a potential existential threat. I feel tremendous pressure to share what I can because I know there will come a time where we all wish we had done things differently. When that moment comes, I know people will say, I wish somebody would have told me sooner.
Now, some people are saying we're not getting disclosures because it would reveal that there's free energy out there. And let's just say hypothetically that's the truth. The oil industry, markets, financial futures, they would all be in major disarray once we come out and say, hey, yeah, we don't need oil anymore, guys. We have free energy. I think overall it would be a net positive for all of humanity. But a lot of central controllers, we're making a ton of money off of this on the back end with the carbon credits. We want more money. But now there's a lot of people claiming that things like the Tic Tac video, there's a video of what looked like a Tic Tac flying around, defying the laws of physics. People are now claiming that this video from 2004 that was released by the U.S. Government and F-18 fighter pilot jets is confirmed to be, quote, allegedly a Lockheed Martin craft dubbed CL-957 Gen 2. People are saying it was developed in 2003, and it uses, quote, exotic propulsion systems that cancel the effect of inertia and can, quote, vector gravity, whatever nerd talk that means. Now, would it surprise me that the U.S. government has advanced U.S. military tech and aircraft and propulsion free energy like technology? Well, according to Catherine Austin Fitts, that already exists, and it's using that type of new exotic forms of energy to fuel underground bases that the U.S. Pentagon is secretly building, and that's why the Pentagon always fails the budgets, and there's trillions of dollars missing from the Pentagon because the Pentagon is taking those trillions of dollars and using it on propulsion like free energy technology to set up their underground bunkers that they don't want to tell anyone about because everyone's going to want to go there if there's a near-Earth extinction event. That's one theory about what's going on here, as, of course, here's a clip regarding that. In that same Age of Disclosure movie that talks about the kind of threat of getting rid of oil, gas, coal, having clean technologies. There's other theorists out there that are coming out and saying, how do we find out about nuclear energy? How did that come about? As some people are saying, that in itself is alien tech that was gifted to us. And so far, nuclear energy looks like it is a reputable, clean form of energy that is able to proportionally provide humanity with a lot of energy. If you look at what's happening in Germany, prices of energy going up, economic life more difficult. Compare that to France, where they have their own problems and issues, but Germany got rid of all of its nuclear reactors. Why? Because they want to appease Greta Thunberg and their green energy overlord satanic gods. On the other hand, you have right here France that builds nuclear reactors, and they are doing a lot, and they have a surplus. And then for a time being, recently, energy was free in France. The Frenchy socialists love that.
If we can understand the technology that we're observing, it has so many potentially beneficial impacts, including clean energy. We're seeing these craft doing unbelievable things, and it's not combustion engineering.
This is technology that could replace oil, gas, and coal.
If we can...
and that would mean tremendous amounts of vast change for our economy and our current way of life. I say good. Other people are saying, I mean, if you're in the oil and gas industry, you're like, no, do not redeem it. No. As right now, there are new radar scans highlighting how maybe that technology has always been with us, specifically with ancient civilizations, especially when you look at the hieroglyphics. They do talk about these kind of like pan-like type of craft. They talk about Anunnaki-like creatures, Nephilim-like creatures that are bigger than human beings in some of the hieroglyphics. I'm so pissed off. The Library of Alexandria was burnt down because there was so much history before us that was just utterly destroyed. But right now, there are new scans that are revealing a massive, quote, engineered structure that looks like an energy grid beneath the Giza plateau, underneath the Egyptian pyramids. Radar engineer Filippo Bondi just dropped the most explosive finding ever reported at Giza. 8 clearly man-made tubes-like structures plunging more than a kilometer beneath the pyramid and ending a huge 80-meter, quote, chamber. Now, this was just released a couple days ago. Here's a small clip of their findings and their video.
I'm here with Filippo Biondi, who shocked the world. I think it's one of the most interesting findings in the last century.
I am struggling to express in words just how significant of a discovery this is.
8 hollow cylindrical structures that are underneath the middle pyramid on the Giza plateau.
With columns and coils around the columns. I'm like, what?
We have measured approximately over 1 kilometer of depth.
Over a kilometer
Yes,
of depth.
over.
Do you think that the pyramid was a nuclear fusion machine?
Please give me another question.
Now, some people believe that they were satellites meant to communicate, especially with their kind of placement on the 33rd parallel as well. Lots of lore surrounding that. And of course, where a lot of major cities in the United States and all over the world have kind of been built on what people believe to be power ley lines. Now, also, there's a lot of astrology mixed into all of this as well, since the pyramids do line up with the stars out there in our universe as well, in very kind of perplexing ways that a lot of people believe was not accidental.
Maybe the water goes through these spirals, and the spirals are made by piezoelectric material.
Do you think we can turn the power grid back on?
But we do like that.
What if it's a power grid meant to send signals out there into the universe here, as people are saying, 100% man-made? The scientific studies at this massive structure beneath the pyramids. We have a Daily Mail article talking about this as well, saying hidden megastructure beneath Egypt's Giza pyramids are confirmed by scientists. A team of Italian scientists took the world by storm last March when they announced the discovery of a colossal underground complex plunging nearly 3,500 feet beneath Egypt's Giza plateau and linking chambers the size of city blocks. Now, Felipe Bondi, the radar engineer who developed the imaging methods, has gone public with evidence that he said leaves little room for doubt. In a new interview on Jesse Michael's American Alchemy podcast, Blondie revealed that 4 independent satellite operators, Uma Kappa Space, ICE, and Italian Cosmo SkyMed, all returned identical raw tomography data showing the same structure. So this is the kind of confirmation. All 4 satellites gave exactly the same results, Bondi said. That is really amazing. We cannot announce anything without these basic scientific methods. Using a technique he pioneered called synthetic aperture radar Doppler tomography, Bondi's team measures microscopic vibrations on the Earth's surface. These vibrations carry acoustic fingerprints from objects thousands of feet underground, allowing the software to reconstruct 3D images, even though the radar waves themselves never penetrate the soil. The scans revealed 8 massive hollow cylinders dropping straight down from the base of the Khafre Pyramid, the middle of the 3 Great Pyramids. Each shaft has a central column ramped and a perfectly helical coils and terminates more than 3,500 feet below the plateau in a 206 by 206 by 206 foot chamber, larger than most modern sports arenas. That's pretty big. Here's the intro to Jesse Michael's interview that was just released a couple days ago that I think is very fascinating. If it plays here, let me refresh it.
I'm here with Filippo Biondi, who shocked the world. I think it's one of the most interesting findings in the last century.
I am struggling to express in words.
Yeah, I think we just played that clip here. Joe Rogan also talked about very similar things. As of course, he did a one-on-one interview where he was talking about alien contacts, UFO crashes, what's underneath the pyramids as well here, which is very interesting to say the least.
Oh my God, this is so sick. They were very clearly trying to scare me, and then
He's talking about his dream, which I believe was an occurrence by interdimensional creatures. Personally, myself, since it aligns a lot with what Tucker Carlson described himself.
play. We're just kidding. Everything was like, whoa, just messing around. And it sounds insane that people could live for 30,000 years, but it doesn't. Here's why it doesn't. There's real evidence that there's structures under the pyramids that might go as deep as 2 kilometers.
That look like an energy grid
with columns and coils around the columns. I'm like, what?
Everybody who studies this says the cherry on top are the pyramids, but it's really this underground city that they're studying.
There's a 40-meter object that's in that labyrinth, that's in some vast corridor, that's metallic.
That a lot of people believe is alien craft, by the way.
It's a f***ing UFO.
And now we have three-fingered mummies in Peru.
We might have actual evidence that there's another species that shares this planet with us.
There's also elongated skulls. I actually went to Peru and I did a documentary about this, and I got home and then all the video footage was deleted.
The same problem that we have with UAP disclosure is the same problem you have with the Epstein files.
Who do you think runs our government?
Nixon apparently had been saying, I know who killed JFK and I know why they did it.
And then you have people like Elon Musk on they run SpaceX. You would think.
Who Joe Rogan says knows more about aliens than he's letting on to. What do you think is the actual truth out there? Interdimensional spiritual beings, religious, angels, and demons, UAPs, UFOs, or outside of this type of dimension or universe? Which one do you think is most credible? Thank you so much for watching. I always appreciate nerding out on some of this stuff. Thank you so much for getting the holiday gifts at wearechange.shop and supporting small independent business rather than, of course, the big guys. We make sure our products are good and amazing, and I give them to my family. I take them myself, and I can't recommend them enough. Wearechange.shop. I love you guys. Stay tuned for more, all here exclusively on youtube.com/wearechange.